2000s music was definitely the shit.
I think it's the time when people really started to genre bend and mix and match between genres, and artists who wouldn't normally work together came together and made some awesome stuff.
For me, it was music like Richie Hawtin and his Minus collaboration with people like John Acquaviva, where they started playing down-tempo techno.
Most of the music was influenced, it's probably from the old piano house genres.
So, it definitely had a lot of different types of experiments.
Obviously you had your big pop stars, but it just got so over the top with Beyonce's and Britney Spears and all these artists coming out.
Soulja Boy exists, Celine Dion exists, Gwen Stefani was a thing. Holy crap, it was just a lot of shit happened. Oh my god, Kid Rock was a thing. Jesus Christ, I don't know who ever thought of putting rap and rock together, but it sounds all right.
You had Jay-Z doing a track with Linkin Park, which is perhaps two of the furthest bands from each other. The waves of that have rippled out to stuff we hear today in terms of Ed Sheeran and Bring Me the Horizon collaborating on stage live at the Brit Awards.
Music is always evolving. I have inspirations. I grew up listening to Kanye's and funks and souls.
I would say role models in the music. Steve Bicknell, who was a music promoter for a night called Lost, as an influence on my music. The political side with the punk sound of America, which was more about veganism, more about anarchy, more about autonomous society.
I suppose one of my biggest influences would probably be Mac DeMarco. I think the sort of sounds that he has and the way that he records stuff really inspired me, because he did it all from a rubbish little studio in the middle of nowhere.
If I have to say somebody that I definitely look up to in terms of music is this woman called Yoko Shimomura. She's the one that done a lot of compositions for video games like Super Mario.
I do like David Bowie, Prince, Calvin Harris. They've all had a passion. They've all got bad histories, bad stories behind their track, their path into the music industry,
My inspiration's me, as awful as that may sound. It's hard to draw inspiration from things unless you experience them yourself.
My first experience of the fantasy of music was definitely through heavy metal, through an album cover by Thin Lizzy called Jailbreak, and Black Sabbath, Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. Being into comics, it got me straight into the heavy rock sound. The album covers of Kiss, the album covers of bands like Edison, Lake and Palmer, the album covers of Judas Priest.
I remember the first time that I was like, oh yeah, music is whatever, music is my life type thing. It was just there, and I just grew to appreciate it.
It's an enjoyment thing. It was a family gathering, right Friday night, Saturday night around the stereo, getting the LPs out and chucking some wax on there. Since a young age, I've always had an interest in music. It has been a part of my life.
In the early days, I really didn't want to go towards it because I had a whole complex of, I don't want to do the same thing as anyone else. I want to go my own way. And eventually I sort of came over that and just decided to do what I love. I don't really talk to people about my problems or my issues. I never have. I probably never will. Maybe I'll get a therapist one day, who knows. But I'd like to think that playing music, making music, thinking of lyrics, writing, anything is my way of sort of telling the world how I feel at that moment. Albeit, I've never, put music out or anything, but when I do, I think that's where I get my inspiration from. It's personal experience, it's downfalls, it's rising up. It's what shapes you in your life that is going to shape your music.
Me personally, I don't make music of, trying to make people feel stuff. I just make music on depending of how I'm feeling at the moment. I just make music because I like making music.
Hopefully the words would seep through. That's what I'd really like to have happen with my music, is that maybe it doesn't grab your attention straight away, but if you listen to it, if you take the time, if you pay attention, the words mean something to you. I just want people to have some sort of feeling and connection with the music.
Creators want money so they don't have to do another job, so they can just do creative stuff. And it means being free and escaping from any form of shackle. So what I want when people hear my music is, or to see my film with the music in it, is to inspire them to break their shackles and go and do their thing. Before You brought out an album, you'd done some gigs in the bar, people would go out and buy your records and you would still make a living from it. The internet has destroyed it, and that's what I'd change instantly.
Less selfishness in the industry, I believe. It can be quite catty, and people are always up for ripping people off and always cut corners when it comes to, you know, getting the right people involved.
The music industry is a very like homicidal, cannibalistic type thing, you know. They all go at each other and nobody wants to work together to like contribute to like a better, you know, working environment type thing.
I just think it's important to be true to the music and what you're trying to achieve about connecting to people, rather than thinking about the sales or the stuff behind it. And big examples of that with stuff like Prince. He was working in his own studio, writing it himself, producing it himself, and he wasn't keeping all the rights to the music. That's something that, you know, hasn't existed for a while, and it's finally starting to come to fruition, I feel like, in the industry.
I do feel a lot of people are selfish and can be quite shut off. There is nice people in this industry. There's a lot of nice people, but you just have to hope that you find the right ones.
I think if you have the real passion, then everything that comes with it, the drive, the determination, that comes from the passion. And just learn as you go. Take things from whoever you can, meet people, connect with people, learn what you can, and yeah, see what happens.
To settle no score, I've just come here to lay down my thoughts. Do what you want, but don't get caught. There's no time to be starting wars. We should all just get along just like before. This message I'm sending can't go ignored. Feeling like I can't take this shit anymore, but I listen to my heartbeat roar.
Oh, right here. Okay, so basically. Pass me one.
You don't need to interfere with the sound and shit in here.
So, it should be controlling my camera, right? If you want to get over the shoulder, you could just do that now, and I'll just. Yeah. So you don't know which go, I guess practice goes.
Yeah. Just practice it and then we'll tell you when we're ready to record on the headphones.
Yeah.